Hi there, my name is Sally. Thank you for coming to How I Got There, from cult survivor to writer. And I really encourage you that if you are a survivor of any cult, whether it's Jehovah's Witnesses or Scientology, Nexium, there's so many out there, I just ask that you leave a comment. I'd love to know how you're doing, and if you need some help in some way, maybe some encouragement, I'd love to hear from you. I specifically talk to writers and creative people who have been in cults and have gotten out. But I also know there's a lot of people who are curious about the cult life and how someone can get trapped in it and stuck in it, and why it's so hard to get out. So I was not a cult member by my own choice. I was pulled into it as a child. But if you go back and watch my first two videos, I share more of my story. And I do want to preface this that I'm not here to debate whether Jehovah's Witnesses are a cult or not, and I don't want to debate religion with you. I have a strong faith in God, and I have a great path that I'm on, and I'm just here sharing and giving back, particularly to creative people. And that's just what I want to do. And I hope that, like I said, that you leave a message. I do have a lot of creative content that I write over on Medium. I write a short article that's like a 3-minute read once a week called Growing Up Cultish. And each week I talk about a little different subject. Like my first one was why... my most recent one, was why don't Kingdom Halls have windows? I also shared about being 6 years old and having to sit outside of the classroom during Valentine's Day while the rest of the class was inside having a party. So I have some of those, and I also have another byline, I guess you want to call it, called Burnt Match, which I share my humorous online dating stories. So love for you to go over to Medium and follow me over there and read my work. I'm sure you will have a good laugh. I have all my content links down below in my bio about this video. But I mentioned before, I'm a writer, and that was a very long, hard path for me to get there. But I managed, and that's why I want to speak to you creative people. If you're struggling, trying to find your place, what you want to do, where you want to go, or you just can't seem to connect, please leave me a comment and listen to my story, because I think you're going to get something out of it that can help you. So what I'm going to share today is something that I wrote called The Truth is a Lie, and this is a novel, and it had an agent for a little while, and it was out to be sold. Things kind of fell apart, COVID happened, and I found that I owned my book again, and I was without an agent. And I'm still looking for an agent. So I'm going to share that, but my story's out there in the public because I feel like there's so many people who need to hear it and can relate to it. And if you stumble across it, if you read it, you may stumble across somebody in your life who's going through this and you don't know because they're quiet and they don't tell you and they put on a happy face. So you may be able to help somebody. So my book called The Truth is a Lie is over on an app called Wattpad. And again, I put down below, I put the link to it. So if you go over to Wattpad and follow me, join Wattpad. It's super cheap, and there's a ton of books that you can read. And I don't get paid for having my book over there, and I don't get paid for having anything on Medium. So please join, please follow. Artists like me, we give our work away for free, and we have to earn a living. So if you're enjoying what you're hearing and you're enjoying what you're seeing and you want to hear more, I would really appreciate it. A good review, a follow, something. So again, I'm going to read to you from my book, The Truth is a Lie, and I'm just going to read a little bit, and I hope you enjoy it. The Invisible Girl. I am the invisible girl. In history class, I fade into the background in my gray and brown dress, the color of dirt. The only way to survive Armageddon and join Jehovah in paradise is to stay hidden and apart from the world. Armageddon is coming soon. That's what the brothers say. I need Jehovah to see my faithfulness to him. I rub my thumb, its nail chewed to the quick, over the worn edge of my sketchbook. I stumble. If you didn't watch the first video, I'm dyslexic, and so reading out loud for me is sometimes hard. So bear with me, even though I've read this a million times. I rub my thumb, its nail chewed to the quick, over the worn edge of my sketchbook, trying to drown out the hum of voices around me. Everyone is excited about spring break. Mr. Cooper gave up trying to teach a while ago, throwing his hands up in surrender, saying, "History can wait. It's not going anywhere." Val turns to face me, her perfectly rounded bubblegum pink fingernails, the same color as her lip gloss, pressed gently on the edge of my desk. Sometimes I wish my nails were as nice as hers, or that I could wear lip gloss. I'd wear dark pink or red, but I wear blue. Or that I could, but when I think this way, I know it's true. Satan is doing everything he can to make sure I don't follow the truth. That's nice, Val says, looking down at the page of my sketchbook littered with butterflies. You've always been good at drawing. Remember 5th grade, Miss Wilson's class? Before I can answer or stop her, she flips the page. I sit taller, holding my breath while she stares at my pencil sketch of Armageddon. I'd based it on one I'd seen in my truth books. It was hard to copy, but I'd captured everything, even the smallest details. Jehovah's loyal people, the brothers and sisters, those in the truth like me, stand shoulder to shoulder in the foreground. Their upturned faces glow with happiness. They're safe during Armageddon and on their way to paradise. Behind them, jagged bolts of lightning shoot down from the darkening sky. Smoke and flames billow from cars and buildings as the worldly run in all directions, their faces frozen in silent screams. And that, in truth, is a real picture that is in the truth books. And that, in truth, is what I was shown as a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old. People, moms running with their babies in their arms, clearly dead, and fire and the earth opening up. Very scary. I'm sure you could imagine. Val opens her mouth like she wants to say something, then closes it again. She looks up at me and says, "This is really dark, Sarah." Bailey leans around Val. "It is dark. You drew this? I like it." She runs her fingers through her purple hair, pulling it up into spikes. Heat prickles across my cheeks. "You shouldn't." I drop my pencil into my sketchbook and close it. My picture is good enough for her to see what will happen during Armageddon. She should be scared, not excited. She doesn't have the truth. She's going to be one of the people running for her life, wishing she had listened to me when I told her about Jehovah. And that is clear thinking of how Jehovah's Witnesses think. When you're in a cult and you are only seeing one truth in your life and everybody else that's not following that truth is wrong, is dead, is toast. We're going to have a pool party after school. You're invited. Bailey's lips curve up in a half smile. Dark girl. Val mouths for Bailey to stop. Val knows I would never go to a party, but she doesn't know why. Armageddon can happen at any moment, and if it came while I was at a party, I'd be toast, just like them. Jehovah would never save me, not like he will when I'm at school. School, not a party. Did you see what she drew? Her cult is dark, Bailey says. It's not a cult, I whisper down to my chest. Bailey, cut it, Val says. Whatever, Bailey says. I'm sorry for my friend, Sarah. Val says, her face pinched with sadness. I feel a little sad too, but not because of what Bailey said, but because I miss Val. We were friends through grade school up until 6th grade. Sliding my sketchbook into my backpack, I assure Val I'm fine. And with a flash of white teeth, she turns back to Bailey, their heads pressed together, making plans for later. I sink low in my seat. wishing I were more like Nina, my best friend and sister in the truth. She's so confident in Jehovah and herself, it beams out her fingertips. If I were like Nina, I wouldn't be afraid to tell Bailey why I'm not going or would never go to one of her pool parties. The final bell rings. The class cheers. Chairs screech back on the gray vinyl floor, and Mr. Cooper cups his hands around his mouth and tells us to have a fun spring break and stay safe. I tuck a strand of my brown hair behind my ears, wishing I had some curls or at least a bend in my hair. I stay in my seat, holding my books close to my chest, not wanting to get caught in the jumble. Sarah Stevens. Mr. Cooper eyeballs me as he gathers up a stack of papers. You better hurry, spring break is starting without you. I guess, I mumble. Hugging my books tighter, I walk to the door, pausing before stepping into the swarm of students filling the hallway. Standing at her locker in a tight circle with Bailey and Zoe, her best friends, Val looks up at me. Except for Bailey, they all look the same. Jaggy jeans, baggy t-shirts, and flannels tied around their waists. I'm glad I don't look like them in my dress that falls almost to my knees. Sucking in a breath, I weave through the turquoise-colored hallway, heading to the doors leading to safety outside. I pass Gabe standing at his locker with some of the jocks from the soccer team when someone pushes me from behind. I can't tell if by accident or on purpose, but I stumble, and my sketchbook falls to the ground at his feet. Hey, he yells, his face softening when he sees me. Oh, Sarah, sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you. I thought you were my jerk brother. Sorry, I say, catching my breath in my chest. I feel the heat rising on my cheeks. He bends and gets my sketchbook. Here, he hands it to me and our fingers touch. I yank my hand back, like it burns, and hurry away. I turn the corner and lean against the cold metal of a locker. I try to breathe but can't, the air moving as if caught somewhere far away. Jehovah had seen Gabe and me. I'd sinned. Please forgive me, I beg. It was an accident. I didn't mean to touch his hand. So that's just an excerpt from the first chapter. And in it, Sarah, that's a very authentic think pattern for someone in a cult. And I shared that with you because you may have Jehovah's Witnesses in your life and they may be smiling and happy. But I will guarantee you that inside they are afraid because they never really know if Jehovah is going to save them or not. And there's so many things that could go wrong in their life that Jehovah could abandon them. And that's the power of a cult, is the control. And the power of getting out of a cult means that you have the strength and energy to do whatever it is you want to do. And I encourage you, if you want to be an artist, if you want to draw, if you want to paint, if you want to write, if you want to do anime, if you want to sculpt, whatever it is that you want to do, I encourage you to take that little step and try it. Music. There's so many wonderful things. So please, please, please leave me a message. I want to hear your comments. I want to know what's going on, and I try to answer. Don't forget to follow me or subscribe, and don't be shy. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.